So what I wanted to talk to you today about is this idea of recommitting yourself to your 100%. And if there was ever a time to recommit to 100%, it's right now. I wrote a book called 30 Days at 100%, Changing Your Life 30 Days at a Time. And the idea of 30 Days at 100% is that if you make incremental changes in your life, instead of trying to tackle, everything that you have on a long list at once, like I'm going to lose 30 pounds, I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to do all these things. If you look at your life incrementally, they add up to some pretty big things. The first thing that came to my mind is, have you asked yourself, what would my day, just one day out of your life, what would my day look like if I was striving for 100% as a blank? As a makeup artist, as a hairstylist, as a fashion stylist, as a graphic designer, as a photographer, what would my day look like? And the reason I thought about that was because a lot of times we fool ourselves into actually thinking that we're getting a lot of things done. And it's easy to do that if you don't actually take the time to write down what you're actually doing. It's kind of like balancing your checkbook. If you actually never sit down and balance your checkbook, you're always surprised when you're overdrawn. Right? You're like, how did that happen? Well, it happened because you're not assessing where you actually are. So one of the things that I thought about was breaking your life down into 30-minute increments. Take a piece of paper, like a calendar. A lot of us have calendars that are broken up into 30-minute increments, and sit down with one day and write down what your life would look like, a picture of what your life would look like in a day if you were actually striving to be 100%. For instance, my day as a coach, my day as a consultant means that I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So the first increment from 6 to 6:30 is that I get up, I make my coffee, and I take a shower. After 6 to 6:30, then what does 6:30 to 7 look like? What does 7 to 7:30 look like? 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Break your life up into 30-minute increments and create the actual standard of what your life looks like if you're doing everything you're supposed to do. Are you making phone calls? Are you following up with clients? Are you scheduling tests with photographers? What are you doing when the day is exactly as you would like it to be? Look at it, write it down on paper so you can actually see it. Because once you can see it, you can say to yourself, wow, if I was actually doing this every single day, I would be making X amount of dollars a year. You can extrapolate it out that far. Okay, so that's one day. That's the dream day. And then get up tomorrow morning and write down in 30-minute increments what you actually are doing. Are you getting up in the morning and sitting in front of the television for an hour before you get anything done? Are you talking to your girlfriend on the phone for the next hour and a half? Are you choosing to go to the dry cleaners instead of making phone calls? I mean, what are you really doing? Because what you're really doing and what you should be doing, the difference is the story that you're telling yourself and telling others. And the tale that you're telling gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as you accomplish less and less and less and less. So we come up with more excuses for why the things that we want to happen aren't happening, instead of actually creating a life that we want to live and taking the necessary actions to make it happen. You see, here's the thing. Our lives have a lot of moving parts. They have a lot of moving parts. You can't say, I'm going to lose 30 pounds and I'm going to write a book and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, when you have 2 kids and a husband and you're the one that makes breakfast for everybody in the morning. If you take one thing that you want to change or fix and you work on the adjustments that you have to make over the course of a month to actually implement that change into your life, you can work on just getting that one thing right for a month or 2 months or 3 months, whatever it takes. Because when you have a husband, when you have kids, when you have a boyfriend, when you have family that depends on you, you've got to retrain everybody in your life and get people on board to help you implement this change that you're trying to make in your life. But you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You've got to do something different. And the different thing that you have to do can require all sorts of changes from you. It can require you to not have that phone conversation with your girlfriend in the morning. It may require you to tell that person, you know what? I'm making some changes in my life and I'm going to need us to move this conversation from 9 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening. That was kind of what I wanted to say this morning. I hadn't done a Periscope in a while. Y'all seriously buy this book. Okay, but let me tell you something about this book. Because a lot of people have done this 30 days at 100% wrong. But the idea is, listen to me. If you change one thing in your life every single month, that's 12 things in a year. How different would your life look in a year if you changed one thing every 30 days? The premise of 30 days at 100% is that you wake up every single day of your life with 100% at your disposal. And what you do with your 100% is up to you. Are you wasting your 100%? Or are you actually making something happen? Are you waking up with 100%? You can do anything today. What are you deciding to do? Are you letting fear keep you from doing something? Are you procrastinating? That's why I say just work on fixing one thing. Sometimes the thing that we need to fix is that we need to learn how to tell other people no. And it's not that easy to tell people no when you've been giving away your power for such a long time. But in 30 days at 100%, you have 8 areas of your life: inside, outside, personal, professional, family, finances, activities, and health. So you just pick one thing. You pick one thing. And you start by writing, because here's the kicker. You start by saying, I am 100% when. What makes you 100% in this area? So let me give you an example. I am 100% when my brows, lashes, cheeks, and lips are ready for prime time. My hair is done, I'm dressed, and I have my shoes on. Because unless all of those things are done, I can't go to a meeting, I can't run out the door at the last minute. Does this sound familiar? Makeup artist, hairstylist, is your kit ready? Did you come home from a job tired yesterday, said you were going to clean your kit and your brushes, but you didn't do it? That means you're not ready for something the next day. So it's all about staying prepared. If I get up first thing in the morning, do my brows, lashes, cheeks, and lips, I'm ready to go have an emergency lunch meeting with somebody. If I have to personally drop off some books, I can do that. See, this is what I'm talking about. So it's about, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Work at being your best self every day. Yes. Hi, Lori. Work at being your best self every day, but do not overwhelm yourself by trying to do too many things when you need to work on one thing at a time and then build on it. Get one thing right and then build on that. If you're late everywhere, what is it that's making me late? Am I late because I need to lay out my clothes at night? Am I late because I can't figure out what to wear in the morning? Well, then think about what to wear at night before you go to bed. Lay it out. That way, when you get up in the morning, you're ready to get dressed and you're ready to go. Exercise and meditate every morning. That's a huge one. But for some people, exercising and meditating, if you haven't been doing it, is a lot to do. So start with the meditation. Those of us who don't meditate, meditating is not that easy. Start with 5 minutes and say, play a game with yourself. I do this with saving money. Play a game with yourself. Say, okay, I've never meditated in my life. My friends keep telling me how great it is to meditate for an hour a day. It doesn't seem fathomable, does it? So try 5 minutes. Say, okay, I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes a day for a week. I'm going to take my phone, I'm going to put the alarm on, and I'm going to go inside for 5 minutes a day. Do that for a week. And then the next week, say, okay, I'm going to go from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. And then just do 10 minutes a day for a week. And then the next week, add another 5 minutes. And do 15 minutes a day for a week. And then go to another 5 minutes till you get to 20 minutes. That's how you do it. Because if you try to do it for 20 minutes right at the beginning and you can't, you get frustrated, and what do? We don't do anything. Big one for me is prayer. Big one for me is sitting in my chair so that I can get focused. I sit in my chair, I read my Bible, and then I try to read a chapter of a book, just one chapter. You know, don't beat yourself up because you can't read 5 chapters in a day. Read 1 chapter a day. If the book has got 23 chapters, it's going to take you less than a month to read it. And guess what? If you haven't been reading anything and you get 1 book read in a month, it inspires you to read more. 30 days at 100% is broken up into the first 30 days is focus, the second 30 days is momentum, and the third 30 days is achievement. Why? Because if you focus on something, you get excited about the fact that you completed it. So you go into the next 30 days with momentum from having accomplished what you set out to do in the first 30 days. And it doesn't matter if what you're trying to do is small. Don't tell your friend that meditates an hour a day that you meditated for 5 minutes and then give that person the power to make you feel bad when they say, oh, is that all you did? Don't tell them. Stop telling everybody everything. I say this all the time. Keep some things to yourself. Then in the 3rd month, after you've accomplished something in the 1st month and something in the 2nd month, that's where you get achievement. Because it gets easier and easier and easier to do more when you find yourself having success in a particular area. Celebrate the small successes, because no matter what you do, you cannot cheat the journey. What if you have more than 12 things to change? You know what? That is a great thing that you just said. What if you have more than 12 things to change? The thing is, where are you going? Are you not going to be here in 13 months? Are you not going to be here in 14 months? Are you not going to be here in 15 months? Life is a journey. If you got 12 things to do, still do one thing a month. And guess what? If you start working on one thing and you don't perfect it, it's okay that it takes 2 months for you to incorporate it into your routine to make it happen. Because guess what? It's going to take whatever it takes no matter what. It's like saving money. Can you save $50,000 in a month? No, but maybe you can save $50,000 in 18 months. Right on. She said, okay, I get it. Okay, I'm going to sit over here. I get frustrated when I face setbacks. Yes, but guess what? Setbacks are a fact of life. You cannot get away from setbacks. It's like, listen, Warren Buffett has setbacks. Steve Jobs had setbacks. The rest of us are just as human as those people. We are going to have setbacks. The way you should look at a setback is, what can I learn from this that will help me to do better at this task, at this goal, at this action next time? That's like if you're a makeup artist and you go and you don't have the best day. That can be a setback. It's a setback unless you learn from it. If you learn from it, it's a growth opportunity. You want to talk about setbacks? I got a whole list of setbacks. How do you wake up before small kids when you're tired, when you know you will get more done? Okay, first of all, how about this? How about you look at what you're eating? Are you eating? Do you have a healthy diet? Do you need to take some vitamins? Do you need to investigate why you're so tired? You know, the thing is, sometimes you think you're too tired to exercise, but the truth is, exercise usually makes us feel better. I feel like I'm looking over here, and I should be looking at you guys over here, but I don't get to it. Yes, exactly. You tweak after a setback. One of my favorite authors is Guy Kawasaki, and he wrote a book called Rules for Revolutionaries. And in that book, he talks about how you do something, you evaluate, you tweak. Take action, evaluate, and tweak. That is how people perfect things. I'm not going to keep you on here all day. I wanted to talk to you about being 100%. I wanted to talk to you about making some incremental changes in your life and giving yourself the space to change and working on one thing at a time so that you have an opportunity to get a hold of the moving parts in your life so that you can have more success. And do it little by little, because guess what? 2017 is coming, but if you fix a few things in your life, 2017 is going to be better than 2016. And if you start right now, 2016 will be better than 2015. This was what was on my heart today. I'm Crystal Wright, and I get people unstuck. You are on my list of things to do. I guess that's it. Have a great day. Bye.